Hey everybody, Camiguin here. Alright, this video is sent to me by John in the island of Camiguin, Philippines. And this boat right here is kind of like a canoe with outriggers. It has probably about a 5 or 8 horsepower engine in the middle, and it's got a one propeller and one screw. Anyway, this is from the front yard, and so what he's trying to do, he's trying to go out a little bit out in the ocean. Can you imagine crossing? See that where the bow of the boat is? Way out there's like an island. That's Mindanao. Now this is the boat, kind of the boat that we use to cross this channel, and this is one of the roughest sea because that channel is kind of like a what do you call it, kind of like a sieve, and that's Camiguin Island right there, and that's our front yard. So basically, the current is really, really violent between there, between Camiguin Island and Mindanao, and that is why the ocean during typhoon season would just really be. I mean, it's as big as ships, and that's it. That's what we used to cross the channel. One of my hardest prayer memory in my life was crossing that channel and praying to God so hard to not let that boat capsize. But okay, so this is what he's trying to do. He's trying to simulate to the view of the island, and he's going to be going into the front yard here. As I mentioned in many videos ago, this used to be swamps, and my dad opened it up, and as I also mentioned this many years ago, that in my bedroom I had 12 cases of dynamite underneath my bed. My dad was a excellent explosive. He loved dynamite. He loved blowing up rocks and boulders, and I remember he had a pair of Cobra what do you call those drills, rock drills, and there were gas powered Cobra yeah, dynamite drills. So anyway, the island is littered with boulders and rocks and big as houses. So in my earliest recollection, my dad would blow up, boulders, and we would bring him either by crane, by rocks, payloaders, winches, and as you can see here in a minute, he made a pier out of it, kind of like a homemade pier. Now it doesn't look much now because it's all overgrown. But see those rocks right there on the right side? That's the north face. The other one there you're looking at is the south face. I can't believe the amount of seaweed there. We'd never had that problem before. Right below is the is sand. Now, right here is the beach, and the beach is consists of rocks and pebbles. Now, if you imagine, if you would, this almost, my dad dug this out almost all the way to the roadside. So a small, what do you call it? A small boat. No, not a boat. It's maybe like a yacht or something cargo ship. Not the big ones, of course. Would be able to go through that and dock in there. And this right here, this what you're looking at is the pile of rocks. I remember when I was a kid, those things used to be like, they were very high. You could jump off of them, and they were very, that place was very deep. So anyway, that little post over there, you'll see that in a little bit. That's what I was talking about. It's a Philippine hardwood called tugas. You got to be careful walking on these rocks because they are slippery. But I tell you what, these rocks have stood the time for 40 years. They've been there for 40 some years. Oh, 1974, I think. And this used to be a light post John is touching. See all those rocks now, or boulders, or some of them have fallen off because, as I mentioned before, the storm in this place is so violent. But yeah, look at that post. It stood the test of time. Until now, that wood is just not rotten at all. Each one of those rocks my dad put out, it actually goes quite farther out there. Look how clear that water is. I mean, of course it's the ocean, but I used to go swimming through there and fishing and okay, right there on the on that mountain up there, it's called Mount Ilihan. It's about 800 meters high and about 800 meters or to 1,000 meters from the beach. And my dad and I would always dream of putting a cable car between the beach and all the way up to the mountains. And as I said, that okay, from this point to the left all the way to the right, that used to be, the beach used to be about 100 feet out, but now it's been washed, and slowly, the land is being washed away. But what I'm saying is, back then, the beach was a lot farther out. It wasn't all that, in. But 40 years of neglect has taken its toll. So, and one of the reasons that kind of saved it was these rocks that my dad put through there. Basically, the beach goes straight all the way to the left to where John is standing. But as I said, over 40 years of neglect, no maintenance, the beach is slowly being washed away and eaten away. Those are the, believe it or not, we eat those things. They're actually very good for you. Too bad John had, well, it was a windy day anyway, but he had the waterproof casing on, and the sound was all muffled up, really. But it was very common back then, and I think it still is, that during low tide season, people would come down to the beach, and we would harvest those shells, seashells. Of course, they're still, creatures inside. And we would boil them and put them in coconut milk, and you would have to use tweezers and needles to get them all out. It was a lot of work to eat it. See all these rocks right here? That's how high those rocks used to be. All the way from where John is standing, all the way up there. That used to be solid, just solid boulders. And that what made it into a pier. There's actually boulders on the bottom of these rocks. As you can see, half of them are covered and buried. Too bad though.